Hey guys, welcome to Farm Charm Chic. I'm Emily. In today's episode, I am going to show you how to create 4 fall floral DIYs. All of these end up absolutely beautiful without breaking the bank. If you like crafting, DIYs, dupes, hacks, thrift flips, or just creating in general, I would love if you would consider subscribing and becoming my crafting BFF. If you do like any of the projects from today's video, remember to hit that thumbs up, but let's make some DIYs. I got these at Hobby Lobby. I got this cute little white pumpkin. They had lots of different colors, and this is in the bridal section, over kind of by the bridal section. They have these little succulent bouquets and then little sprigs over there. So I just waited until those were 50% off to do this. So I'm just going to remove the stem on this pumpkin. They are styrofoam under whatever painted surface this is on them. So I just removed the stem, and now I'm just unwrapping this little succulent bouquet, and I'm just going to unwind it and get all of the little sprigs separate. So it's kind of nice because when you get it 50% off for $6, you get all, like, it's all together. You don't have to buy a bunch of little sets of different succulents. It comes all together. It's all matched, I guess is what I'm saying. So I did take my scissors and kind of pop off a little bit of that coating that's on the pumpkin to get down to expose the styrofoam. And then I literally just kind of started playing around, sticking in different succulents. If I needed to trim them down, I used my wire cutters to trim them down. And then I'm just going to keep placing them in and keep going around. Now, when I do get to the little long fern-like leaves like this here that I have, I realized they were very long for what I wanted to do. So I do trim off a couple inches off of the end, and then those little leaves just pull right off. And so you can kind of see, I'm like, that's really long. So you'll see what I'm talking about here. I just trim those with my wire cutters, and those leaves just pull right off to give you another little stem to stick down into your styrofoam. I am not at all like trained in this area at all. I just kind of go for what feels good and what looks right. And so there's really no right or wrong way. That's why I like the simplicity of picking up the little bouquet, is because they're already kind of matched together. So I'll just let you watch kind of how this goes, and hopefully that will help inspire you. So as you can see, I'm having a little bit of trouble with my eucalyptus leaves here. So to fix that, I just put a little hot glue on one of the leaves to attach it. That way it just kind of fills in that negative space that I did not want there. And I did pick up a couple little extra sprigs of the succulents I showed at the beginning of the video in the wedding section to kind of make this a little bit fuller. So you can see how that looks. I just stick the stem back in there. That would be totally optional, but I absolutely love how this turned out. I think it looks so chic and so cute. I love how this project turns out, so I hope that you do too. But I'm just taking some wheat that I purchased at Hobby Lobby. I purchased 3 bundles of it. I did not end up using all 3. Buy it when it's on 50% off. There's no need to pay full price. If you happen to have access to any other type of grain, barley, wheat, triticale, anything like that, even like foxtail, something like weeds that grow on the side of the road, you can easily stop and pick some of those, or use anything that you have like that, any type of decorative grass you might have in your garden when you're ready to trim it down for the fall. Anyway, I'm just taking these, and what I'm doing is you just take any size of canister that you would like. I liked the square shape of this particular one, so that's why I chose this. And I cut these down to the size, the length that I want. And I just use some hot glue along the edge of the jar, and I just one by one take these and place them with the hot glue. It's so simple and so easy, and I love how this turns out. I would like to say that right now would be a really good point to add a couple of rocks to your jar that you're using to help give it a little bit of stability. You can add them later, but right now is the perfect time to add them. So after I get all of my pieces of wheat here, I want to make a little decorative bow. So I do take some of this chicken wire ribbon that I picked up at Hobby Lobby, and be very careful with this. You should probably wear gloves when you use this. I have worked with chicken wire a few times and had sometimes not end so well. So I should have learned my lesson, but this went okay for me. I just used some wire cutters to cut it, and then I did just kind of wind on the back side of it. I just kind of wound the little loose edges together to do to get it to hold. And I did 2 layers of this because I'm going to put a ribbon around the middle where these 2 pieces join, if that makes sense. You'll see what I do here in just a moment. And I do apologize because my camera was being very finicky this day. So I do just take a piece of this ribbon and I just glue it all around. You can see how that covers the middle. And then I do make another bow out of this same ribbon that I did lose the footage for. Again, I do apologize for that. But you've seen me make some bows before. You can do whatever type of bow you want. And then I just glue that onto the front. And I did use another little black and cream ribbon to kind of embellish it a little more. But look at how cute this looks. I love this. I think this is going to be so fun. Kind of a good transition piece between summer and fall, in my opinion. This could even be something that you might leave out year-round in your house. What do you guys think of this one? Have you seen these pumpkins at Dollar Tree? They're so cute and they have the little metal letters on them, but you can see when you take them off, they've kind of put a little bit of shadowing on there. So I don't want that because I'm going to change the words that I want on my pumpkin. So I'm just painting it with some pumpkin chalk paint, and then I'm going to put a little bit of definition in here with my antiquing wax. You can see I just kind of put a little bit on the edge of my sponge brush and kind of just copy that curvature. And then I'm going around the edge of the pumpkin here, and then to dull that down a little bit so it's not so harsh, I do go back over it with a little bit of the pumpkin chalk paint. And then I'm just painting my stem in the moss color with chalk paint here. What I'm doing with this project is I'm going to use it in a wreath. So I am using some of this 6-foot garland and then some picks that I found at Hobby Lobby. Now, my pumpkin is going to sit off to the side on my wreath form that I got from Dollar Tree there. And so my garland only needs to go around like 3/4 of the form, if that makes sense. So I'll kind of show you here that I set it to the point where my pumpkin would stop, and this is a 6-foot garland, like I said, and so it will double up. So as it gets around to the next pot, I will take the other half of it and curve it back around. And so this is what's going to give a very thick look to your wreath. Now, I was looking at wreaths at Hobby Lobby the other day, and like wreaths that were this full were upwards of like $150. Now, granted, they have their 40% off on fall, but still, that's a lot of money. I don't want to spend that much on a wreath that I'm going to use for a month, maybe 2 months. So I'm just zip tying this on. I do the top portion of the garland all the way around. I zip tie it where there's a little break in the wreath form that I can go around. And then I do that second layer, the same thing. Just go around zip tying it so it's not going everywhere. I got these zip ties at Dollar Tree. So you get, and they're in the automotive section. So if you're looking for zip ties, there's a little package that comes with black and red ones. So I just use all the black ones. So you can see how my pumpkin will fit in there. I'm just checking to make sure how good that looks. And then what I do is stick before I zip tie any of these in, I stick them all in and make sure that they're placed where I want them to be and the spacing's all correct. So I have 6 picks that have like berries or pumpkins on them. So like 3 of each. And then I believe I have 3 or 4 of the hydrangeas, and I just kind of go in between and just make a little pattern. Now, these little hydrangeas, I just wrap that wire stem around to hook those in because those are not going anywhere. And I did not show me zip tying the other things in because my head was in the way completely as I was filming. So I thought you'd enjoy looking at the wreath, not my head. But I just zip tied all of those into wherever there was a wire next to them, the little picks. And then you can see I'm just bending the pick part here in or wrapping it around a wire if I can to give it some extra stability. Look at how full this looks. I think this is so pretty. And I just go back in and cut all the backs off of the zip ties here. And now on my cutting machine, I did cut out Hello Pumpkin, and I do use a little bit of painter's tape if your mat loses some stickiness. Somebody told me a baby wipe might work too. So you could go ahead and put the words back on. That looks so cute if you don't have a cutting machine or you don't want to take the time to do this. I just really, since it's my front door wreath, I wanted it to say hello on it. So I thought hello pumpkin would be really cute to do. So I'm just going to weed this out, and I want it to kind of look galvanized because I did like the look of the galvanized words. So I kind of lightly tap over with a stencil brush with Silver Lining and Elephant were the two colors of chalk paint that I kind of go back and forth. And I just want to let you know that from my front door when I'm standing there in person, it totally looks galvanized. Like you would have to get right up next to it. It doesn't come across on camera as well as I had hoped. But I kind of, after I got all of this done right here, I was like, this is all going to stick to the transfer tape and it's going to get all over my pumpkin. Like I started to panic a little bit. It didn't. Like I did use a little bit of a Q-tip and a baby wipe to kind of go in and clean up the negative space there. So that way when I put my transfer tape down, it didn't pick all of that paint up. So I did that as best as I could and kind of thought, well, we'll hope for the best. It totally worked out just fine. One trick that I did with this is I placed my transfer tape on my table so I knew that it wasn't going anywhere, and then I just used my fingers down below to move my pumpkin around to center it. So if that makes sense, hopefully, but that's kind of a way to help get things centered. And I, again, just eyeballed it as best I could, and I just think, look at how good that looks. And like I say, on camera, it doesn't look so much like galvanized metal, but in person, guys, like it really does. Like it looks so good. So I do just go in here and I have a crocodile that I cut a couple of holes in the top and bottom to zip tie this on. You would not have to do that. You could easily hot glue this in. You could easily punch a hole in it with like a nail and a hammer or something to zip tie down at the bottom or something like that. There's a lot of different ways to get that affixed to it. And then I take just a couple little loose leaves to kind of cover those zip ties so that way you're not going to see them. It's not going to come off of there. And then you can kind of see up on the right hand side of the top of my pumpkin, it was a little bare. So I'm just going to come and glue. And I just honestly turned my wreath over and picked a couple of leaves from the back to do this with. So stinking cute. I love this wreath. Guys, this easily would have been over $100 at Hobby Lobby, the way that their wreaths were priced. And I mean, I probably spent a little bit, probably less than 30 on it. And it's homemade. It's going to last me years and years. I love this. You can go over with decoupage on your pumpkin to seal it, but what do you think of this one? I love it. Are you guys on Instagram? If you are, I would love if you would come and find me. I am Farm Charm Chic over there. I'll leave a link down in my description box so you can easily find me. But come and see what I'm working on. I post there quite a bit. I like to show you things that I'm working on or when I have videos ready. It's just another place to stay in touch. So if you do come find me, remember to send me a DM and say hi because I do love meeting new friends. This is such a fun little DIY. I'm just taking one of these jack-o'-lantern trick-or-treat buckets. You can find these a lot of times at thrift stores. This time of year in the fall time, you can start to see them in the grocery stores. Sometimes you'll see like really obnoxious like pink and green ones. So what I'm gonna do, we're going to paint this completely over. So I'm taking a little bit of spackling and putting it over the jack-o'-lantern's face. And as I'm putting it over the eyes, nose, and mouth, I realized I probably should do the whole side of the pumpkin. That way it will kind of mask the facial features a little bit better because I want this to look like a plain pumpkin. If I had this to do over, I would probably spackle the entire pumpkin to give it a cohesive look. Since this is going to be a centerpiece and the other side of the table will see the back side of this, or this side of it, I should say, it just kind of looks like it's a normal textured pumpkin, if that makes sense. However, the front is very smooth. So if I did it over again, I would cover the whole thing completely in spackle. But I'm just going to go through and make sure those lines are still there. You can see I'm just tracing those lines in. And then I do just smooth it out with my finger just to make sure that there's no rough edges or anything like that from the spackling. And I do, once it's completely dry, I take just some sandpaper. I use an emery board for a lot of things. If you're new here, that's kind of just what I happen to have at my craft table, so I use it a lot. But I just go through and sand, make it a little bit more smooth, and then if there's any harsh edges, I just sand those off to make those a little bit more even. That way it kind of flows into the other texture. So if you did your whole pumpkin in the spackling, you probably would still want to sand it just to smooth it out, but you probably wouldn't need to spend a whole lot of time because the outside of, you know, a natural pumpkin's texture has a lot of those bumps and everything on there. So I take this out to my little spray painting studio, which is just a box in my garage, but I use Krylon just satin finish white, and I'm just going to spray this all over. You could do whatever color you wanted your pumpkin to be. You do need to do a couple of coats of this to make sure to cover the orange. I do even go and spray a little bit inside just to kind of mask a little bit of the orange on the inside, so that way it helps to kind of dull down that orange color showing through on the exterior, but you don't need to pay a lot of attention to the inside. But I do just go all the way around, and since this is plastic, you do want to let this cure and dry completely between each coat that you do. So do a light coat in the beginning to cover it all, let that dry for a few hours, come back out, do another couple of coats. I think I went over this 3 times once it was all said and done to make sure that it was completely all the way covered in spray paint. So you can see how smooth this side of it looks, and as you turn it around, you still can kind of see the face in there. I probably could have put a little bit more spackle to mask that, but I mean, it doesn't look horrible, the texture on there, but the whole pumpkin I think would have looked a little bit better all covered in it. I have this base that I bought at Hobby Lobby. It was 75% off, so I think I paid like $5 for it. And you can see this just sits perfect right in there, and I'm just gonna put some flowers in here for a centerpiece. Here's a quick look at what this looks like on my table that I decorated for fall. I do have a video for this whole table setting and a few DIYs that go along with that. I'll link that down below, but I think this turned out absolutely beautiful. Which of these did you guys enjoy the most today? I would love to know down in the comments. Do you guys like to do different fall florals? I'll keep those DIYs coming if that's something that you enjoy. Remember that if you did like any of the projects in today's video, to click that thumbs up. I would love to know that you like what you saw today. And as always, remember to be safe, be smart, be nice, be happy. Choose to have a good day because you are amazing. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed the video that you just saw, here's another one that you might enjoy. And as always, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching and have an amazing day.